Hi, welcome to Vic and Vin Sports Chat. I'm Vic, and today I'm going to talk about a topic that is really close to my heart. It's what is happening with the NBA. I've called it the death of the NBA because I'm quite upset. The NBA is going downhill, and it's going downhill fast. I mean, in the US this week, all the channels have been talking about it, all the experts and everything like that, and everybody has their take on it, and a lot of them have had very good takes on it. I just want to summarize everything for you guys together and just give a little bit my aspect and my view on it, and I'm going to try to be analytical about it, but still have a little bit of fun with you guys. But let's crunch some of the numbers and have a look into exactly what's going on. So let's see how I split this up. I've put it into topics. I said, look, style of play is definitely an issue in the NBA. The financial aspect is also. I think the commissioner, Adam Silver and David Stern, we've got to talk about all that. Then the players resting, and that is a major issue. And then just politics and the NBA getting, mixing politics and sports, that has hurt them because they got to remember who their customers are. You got to remember who their customers are. And man, Colin Cowherd said it the best this week. If you want to know what your customers are, ask the Democratic Party. That is exactly what's going on in the US at the moment, and that's a worldwide problem. So let's get into it. I don't want to get too political. I'm going to try to steer clear of that, but we've got to mention some of the stuff. So let's start with the style of play. Look, at the moment, way too many three-pointers. I mean, there are games where the teams combine for over 100 three-pointers. I mean, it's basically become a three-point competition. And look, I'm going to put some players out here that obviously represent that, and that's obviously Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry, great player. He's a good shooter. I don't mind him shooting threes. It's the other 300 that think they can shoot threes. I mean, some nights teams are 15 from 55 from the three-point line, and it's just destroying the whole flow of the game. So for me, 3 points is definitely an issue. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to fix it. How do you get rid of the 3-pointers? I think maybe there's one or two things that we could change because it's just getting out of control. But look, I don't want to blame Steph or anything like that. Yeah, just using him as an example. Because I mean, look, I think there's no defense in the NBA at the moment. The defense, there's a lack of defense. I mean, let's put it this way. Can you imagine this man? I mean, this man is a Hall of Famer, Dennis Rodman. Would Dennis Rodman still have a spot in the NBA today? Would a player of his caliber still make a roster today? Not wanted. Not wanted at all. He can't shoot a three. He wasn't a very good shooter at all. Yes, he could rebound. He could play defense. But the way they play defense in the NBA these days, I mean, look, there's no hand checking. I mean, the offensive players have got such an advantage because they hardly call any travels in the NBA. And I mean, sometimes the players are running 3, 4, 5 steps before they put the ball down. I mean, it's almost impossible to defend anymore. So I think, players like Dennis Rodman, you don't have any Rodmans anymore. I mean, the last player like that is Damon Green, and the rest of them are dying out of the league, Then I also say, look, a lack of post play. Man, look, when last did we have a Shaq? Somebody like that. I mean, Embiid's not a Shaq. I mean, every big guy now has to shoot threes, go outside. I think the only player that I could have used the picture of him as well. The only player I can see a little bit like that still is Nikola Jokic. That he can shoot a three, but he doesn't rely on the three. His game is a total different game. And I think that's also the reason that the Nuggets won that championship 2 years ago, because they offered the NBA something that no one else had seen. So, yeah. And the game has got way too many breaks. I mean, all this, too many timeouts, too many breaks, too many referees looking at the video screens, making shitty calls. I mean, look, sports lives off mistakes. The players make mistakes, coaches make mistakes, and referees make mistakes. We've got to live with that. We've just got to live with that. I mean, NBA games are just so long these days. I mean, it's 48 minutes, and we have a younger generation of people out there. They're not going to watch 48 minutes. game time, which is going to be like around about 3.5 hours for a basketball game. No one's watching this crap. There's way too many commercials in between. There's way too many timeouts. There's way too many referees looking at the screen. That has got to be cut down. So I think that and that's all part of the style of play, and that's not making the product attractive anymore. The NBA product is not attractive. It's not attractive at all. So let's move on. Then the next thing I said was the financial aspect. Look, the wages in the NBA are crazy. And what does that mean? Players are earning so much money right now that after 1 or 2 seasons, they really don't need to play anymore. And that comes into them resting and all that stuff. But we'll get into that later. But the wages in the NBA are phenomenal. And that's a problem. This is why I say it's a financial aspect. I'm going to use the whole screen here just quickly just to show you. On average, an NBA player in 1995, on average, earned 1.1 million, which is a phenomenal salary. Don't get me wrong. In 2000, it went up to 3,100,000. Today, we're at 11 million is the average. Yes, I know everybody's not earning that, you guys, for 60 million, whatever. But the average NBA player earns 11 million. That is a jump of 10 times. Since 1995, it's gone up tenfold. Tenfold is the wages. Now, if you go to the next thing, now you look at the average US wage. The normal guy at the street, the guy that's buying the product, the guy that has to pay for the tickets, has to pay for the streaming, has to pay for the hot dogs and all that stuff and the concessions and take his kids and the merchandise. Well, whoa, let's have a look at what the average US wage in 1995 was 31,000. Today it's 61,000. So it doubled while the players are getting 10 times the amount. 10 times the amount. And then comes on to the next phase, and that is the ticket prices. Let me just get into that quickly. The wages. Yeah. Then you have the tickets. I mean, look, the NBA ticket prices. The average ticket price in 1995 was $23. Today it's around between $96 to $100. And that always depends on the market. I mean, in LA, when you're watching the Lakers, you're not getting a ticket for $96. You might get that out somewhere in Oklahoma, maybe, if you're lucky, or in Portland, or something like that. But ticket prices are crazy. And look, we know it on our channel. You know, you do rugby, you do football, you do basketball. But if you wanted to do a basketball show every day, and you wanted to show the top games, and you wanted to talk about the top games, and you have to pay for the streaming. I mean, you have to pay everywhere. I mean, I looked at the numbers, and you're looking at like about $70 to $80 a month if you wanted to watch all the games of your team or something like that. That is $800 to $1,000 a year. And if you're only earning $61,000, I mean, how do you explain that to your family? That you're spending $1,000 a year on the NBA for streaming? It's totally crazy. And I mean, yes, these prices have gone up because the players' wages are out of control. They're out of control. Let me just show you some of those wages quickly. I'm going to put in here right now. These are the top 20 earners in the NBA, right? At the moment. And I'll put you their numbers next to you. Out of the top 20 earners, no one earns under 48 million a year, annually. 48 million. Let me go this way. That's better. 48 million a year, annually. Out of the top 100 players in the NBA, everybody earns over $22 million a year. And I can tell you on that top 100 list, there are a lot of shit players. It's unbelievable. I mean, and the normal fan looks at it and says, I can't identify with this anymore. I've got to go to Madison Square Garden, pay my $100, $120, $130 ticket. And then the hot dogs are expensive, the drinks are expensive, and all that stuff. A family father with 2 kids, he can't take it. So that's earning around $60,000 a year, and that's the average wage. He can't afford to take his kids to an NBA game anymore. I mean, and then you want to know why your ratings and everything is dropping, because people just can't afford it anymore. It's not affordable. It's not sustainable anymore. So yeah, that's just a few aspects. It's just a few aspects. Then look, something that gets me, whoa, this is maybe the topic that gets me riled the most. Load management, resting players. I mean, look, the NBA starts somewhere in October and it finishes somewhere in June. And at the beginning of the season, you watch the first 2 games, and then everybody's into the football and everything like that. And the NBA gets interesting over the Christmas, New Year period. But then you have the top stars resting. I mean, look, if I'm paying that kind of money with my kid to go watch a game in Madison Square Garden or Los Angeles, I'm going to go watch the Lakers play against, I don't know, the Suns. Paid all this money and I get there. Oh no, LeBron's resting tonight because he can't play back-to-back games. Kevin Durant has to rest tonight. And I mean, I'm just using examples. I mean, LeBron actually should take out of that equation. But a lot of the other players, I mean, look, I'm going to tell you, the man that started all this shit with this load management is the twat, Greg Popovich himself. He started all this crap. Not only has he always got a big mouth about everything politically, but he started all this load management. Him and his best friend there at the beginning, Kawhi Leonard, they started off for this load management. I mean, I'm going to give you some numbers quickly. You know that Kawhi Leonard has never played 82 games a season. Never. The most he's ever played was 71 games in a season. Michael Jordan, he played 8 seasons. He played all 82 regular season games. I mean, come on. The minutes, and his minutes he played 7 minutes more than Kawhi on average. So, I mean, come on. You can't tell me. You guys have the best physios, the best food, the best. You don't fly bloody coach or something like that. You fly business or first class or even private jets or stuff like that. You can't tell me you need load management. I mean, listen here. It's 82 games. It's a lot of games, yes. But I mean, all the guys did it before. The Jordans and the Ewings and all of them, they did it before. And the game was way more physical. All you got to do now is shoot. You don't even have to go to the basket anymore in the way you people play. I mean, look, another one like that, another guy like that, Paul George. He rests more. He has more podcasts out than he does games played. Come on, you guys, you can't be serious. Fans like us, we look at you guys and you think, what the fuck? You're taking the mickey out of us, man. You think we fools. Paying your wages with our hard-earned money, and then you resting. That's just not possible. Come on, let's be possible. Be a little bit more like Mike, man. Be a little bit more like Mike. Mike knew what to give the fans every night. He came out every night. And I know it's going to sound like this old man ranting again. No. He never cheated the fans. You guys are cheating us. You are cheating us day by day. You're cheating the fans. And the young generation, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, look, they take nights off. They take nights off on the big TV games. That's unbelievable. That the commissioner has to come in and say, look, you have to play 65 games to be eligible for an MVP or a Defensive Player of the Year. That is a joke. 65 games. That is 75% of the season. So 25% of the time you're not doing your job. Any other person in the world, if we didn't turn up for 25% of our work time, like Don would say, you get fired. We'd be out of a job. If no one turns up for 25% of the job, if he's a baker or a taxi driver, you're fired. But you guys, no, load sharing, resting, 25% of the time you don't turn up for your job. And I mean, there are some players out there. I mean, the Kyries of this world, the Paul Georges, they don't even turn up for 50% of the time. Now, gets me going. Then let's get into the commissioners. Look, I think David Stern, he built the NBA together with, yes, Michael Jordan helped him, but they built this NBA into this massive juggernaut. With the Olympics, with the Dream Team, they built this fantastic product. And everywhere in the world, everybody wanted to be Michael Jordan. Everybody wanted to go to the NBA. Look at all the European players that are in the NBA today. I mean, when I started watching in those days, Detlef Schrempf was like one of the first major Europeans to play in the NBA. And then it slowly started after the 92 Olympics. And look, I got to say, I have absolute respect for David Stern. But this man here, Adam Silver, oh man, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, he gives interviews and he says, our product is good. Offense is good. The fans want to see offense. No, we don't want to see offense. We want to see competitive basketball where the defense also has a chance. We don't want to go to 3-point competitions. For that, you have a goddamn All-Star weekend for the 3-point competitions. We don't need that during the season. And talking about the All-Star game, I mean, listen here. I'm just going to take old twat face off here quickly. Here we go. The All-Star game. You can't make this shit up. The NBA Commission has now sanctioned a new style of All-Star game. 4 teams. The rising stars and the rookies. Whoever wins that is the 4th team. And then you divide all the 24 NBA players into 3 teams of 8. And like you play like 2 quarters and all this crap. You're watering down the product every single day. You've done it already. You've already watered it down with this in-season tournament NBA Cup crap. I mean, just play the 82 games the way it was supposed to play. Play the playoffs the way they're supposed to play. Let the players play defense and stop being so goddamn woke all the time. Jesus, I mean, we don't want to watch this crap anymore. Give us our basketball back. Then, look, my last little theme. The wokeness, the moral high ground. I mean, look, they came out, every political thing, if it's Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, LGBT, whatever it is, the NBA is always going to have an opinion to it. But do you know that the average fan doesn't give a shit what your opinion is? The average fan wants to see you do your job. You know, they get into politics, the American politics, they get into who's a Democrat, who's a Republican. Lay off that. You're not doing your image in the NBA any good. I mean, look, I'm gonna say, these guys here, this is one of the reasons a lot of people are still watching the NBA. These guys do a fantastic job. They are trying to promote you, but they are your hardest critics at the moment because they are telling you that you've got a shit product. You should be listening to Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, and of course the big man Shaq. Listen to what they tell. Kevin Durant came out. Everybody's coming out and telling you guys your product is not good. No. The commissioner thinks everything is in butter. I tell you, kind of. And then you know, also look, I like LeBron James. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's definitely, you can put him in the GOAT. Talking about who's the GOAT, for me it will always be Michael Jordan. But look, LeBron, phenomenal career. And I take LeBron out of a lot of things. But you're also the problem this year. I mean, listen here. What is your son doing in the NBA? He wouldn't make a Eurobasket team right now. Yes, you wanted to play with your son. Fine, 1 game. Now he needs to piss off because he's not good enough. I feel sorry for the young man. You people have put this guy under so much pressure, this young kid. This young kid is not up to it. He's not up to an NBA. If he was any good, he would have been a top 5 pick. He wasn't. This is the problem. People look at this and they laugh at the NBA and say, wow, man, if my daddy played in the NBA now, well, then I can get a spot. Well, hey, all the kids can play in the NBA. I mean, there are kids whose fathers played in the NBA that are fantastic. Obviously, Steph Curry, Sabonis' kid is doing really well. But look, I mean, not every kid is going to play in the NBA because his dad played in the NBA. My dad was a world-class chef. I'm not. Just because he's my dad, I'm not, you know, come on. I feel sorry for this kid. And this is stuff that pisses the fans off because you're taking spots away from people that should be in the NBA. And it's like, you know, it's like the boys club all of a sudden. While, you know, and that's also a problem. These agents, while if you want LeBron on your team or if you want Kevin Durant, I have 3 other guys that I'm an agent of. They need a spot. Yeah, but they're not good enough. No, but you're not going to get Kevin Durant if you don't give him a spot. Come on. Guys, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult to get the NBA back on the track. I mean, you've lost 48% of your ratings since 2012 till today. 48% down. Yes, it's not all on your bad decisions. The culture, the world has changed. People don't watch TV the way they used to watch. The younger generation definitely don't sit in front of the TV for 2 to 3 hours and watch a basketball game. They'll be on the phone watching something else, and then they'll get up, they'll go to the cinema, they'll come back, they'll watch the last quarter, whatever. That's just the way it is today. Well, they don't go to the cinema anymore. Sorry, they go streaming. Shows you how old that I am. Just stop with all this crap. You had such a good product, and then you started to change it. Coca-Cola learned it as well. They went away from the original recipe, and they had to come back to it. Can you imagine if McDonald's tomorrow changes the Big Mac or the quarter pounder and says, well, no, it's not going to be beef anymore. It's going to be, I don't know, tofu. Nobody going to buy that crap. Come on. You had a good product, stick with it. So, hey, that's just my little rant on the death of the NBA. I hope they get it together because I really love basketball and I'd like to see a good product again. So, you guys, remember, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and give me some feedback. What do you think of what I had to say? I mean, look, you don't have to agree with me. That's life. Everybody has an opinion, and we're all basketball fans, and we just want the best for basketball. So, thanks for watching, and see you guys soon. Here from Vic and Vern Sport Chat. Ciao, guys.